Good morning. So today we're going to make an art project that focuses on the caves of Lascaux. So first we're going to learn about what the caves of Lascaux are. So these are some examples of cave art from the caves of Lascaux located in France. The paintings date back about 40,000 years ago. And they depicted what people saw in their everyday lives, such as hunting animals and interactions with each other. And they were used to tell stories and communicate history. The cave paintings are extremely large. They're massive, and France actually replicated some to restore them. We'll be focusing on the great woolly mammoth, which would have been seen during the Ice Age. So I'm going to show you how to draw it in cave style. We're going to be making a woolly mammoth, and I actually used a paper bag from the grocery store as a paper. So if you have a paper bag that you'd want to use, that's great. If not, you can just use whatever's available to you. Paper is totally fine, but I thought it would be fun to use a different kind of material. So I just have my bag. Sorry, my workspace is pretty small. I just have my bag, and I'm going to cut off one of the, sorry, I left my video. I'm going to just cut off this one side so that I can use it. Okay, so I've cut off my one side of the bag. So on this side, there's a logo, but on this side, it's blank. So we're actually going to make kind of this like crumpled look so that it kind of mimics the rough texture of the caves, the cave walls. So I'm actually going to just like crumple this up. Squeeze it, and then lay it back out. And then I'm going to kind of smooth it roughly back out. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to tear some of the edges so they get this rough edge to them. Okay, so now here's my canvas, we'll call it, for my woolly mammoth based on the paintings we saw of the caves of Lascaux. Okay, so to draw our woolly mammoth, we'll just look back at this one. I'm going to start with the trunk, make the big hump on the back, and then go down for these rectangle legs, and then we'll make the woolly mammoth tusk. So I used a Sharpie and oil pastels. You can use anything to color this, colored pencils. Chalk pastel would actually look really cool and work really well also if you have chalk pastel. I actually do not have any chalk pastel at home. So I'm going to start with the curve of the head, and then I'm just going to keep coming down for the trunk. And then come back up. The head's going to come down and then back up for the big hump in the back, and then come around all the way down to a foot. And then I can do another foot, round belly, and then I'm just going to pause here so I know that I have enough room for the last leg. I use Sharpie though, so I better have enough room. Okay, and then the tusk, I'm going to make just a curved line for like where the mouth would be. The tusk is going to come down and like curve at the bottom like that. So there's my woolly mammoth, and I can give it an eye and also a tail. And remember, we're drawing this very simply, just like the drawings in the caves of Lascaux. So they're kind of stylized to show all four legs rather than having like the other two on the other side. So aside from the woolly mammoth, remember that people, they would draw things that they saw, they would draw things that happened. So we can draw an arrow because they would hunt the woolly mammoths, right, for their coat and everything else that they needed to survive. And then they would make a lot of handprints, so we can do just a very simple handprint. And then other than that, it's up to you if you want to add, like we could do another arrow over here, which is just a triangle with a line, and then give it these simple lines coming off. We could do another. Okay, so now is for coloring, and you can color yours any way you want. I was inspired by another art teacher that I went to college with, and she had shown me that art lesson. So I loved how she kind of started with like these reds and then went to some oranges and eventually the brighter yellows. So I'm gonna try that. And then I will leave the tusk white, so we're kind of feeding. And you know, we used this type of paper for a reason, so feel free to kind of let the paper show through. You don't exactly need to like completely fill in the color. Oil pastels are great for overlapping and blending the colors. You could also blend together though crayon colored pencil. Whatever you have available to you is great. I love to see you guys, oh I hope you can see all that. I love to see that you're just creating with anything that you might have. And if you ever need anything, you know, you can just send me an email and we can drop off any materials that you might want. The other thing you could do with oil pastel, besides blending it, and a lot of you I'm sure know this, is you can use your finger to blend it. And actually this paper bag's very sturdy and not as easy to rip as some paper, so I can really kind of move my finger around and blend it. So I'm going to go around the tusk and not color it. So there's a kind of darker orange. I'm going to switch to a lighter orange. Oh, you can hear my daughter. Okay, and remember you can take your finger and kind of blend it in a little bit. Chalk pastel, you would do the same actually. You would kind of rub it on your paper and then use your finger to blend it. And then, is this what I just used? No. Then I've got two yellows here. So we kind of did like a nice fade of colors. If you have interest in another animal, you don't have to do a woolly mammoth either. You know, you could do anything that might interest you. Oh, that's my cat, sorry, not Sweet Muffins. If you can hear him. Okay, so there's my woolly mammoth, and then I can go ahead and get white, and I can use that for the tusk. This I probably won't blend in, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And I can color this little arrow. Some of the hands. And you can color these all different colors. I just, you know, whatever you want. You could even start with white, and then I can add some orange, pink. Perfect. So this is my Caves of Lascaux woolly mammoth, and I hope you guys enjoyed this art lesson, and if you make it, I would love to see a picture. Remember, use any coloring, drawing materials that you have, and I hope you have a great day.